everyone, welcome to An Island Dungeons, my talk show. This is Win. Say hi.
Hi.
Beautiful, I love it. Twitch removing host mode. Hosts are going, hosts are
that's
going.
right, yeah.
I'm really upset about that, I'm not gonna lie.
I felt like it was one of those things. I didn't really understand their reasoning for getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Because they're saying that it didn't help grow people's communities. But I can tell people a number of times that people have come in and said, oh, I went to someone else's channel, but you were being broadcasted. So clearly it's done something.
Right, exactly. And there was a little section on your like following page or whatever where it was like, oh, X is being hosted by this person or whatever. And it's like, it's a way for you to tell your community, hey, I recommend this person. Or, you know, for you as a viewer to say, hey, I recommend this streamer, even if like no one checks out your channel. You know what?
I thought it was so strange because new ones get them on the front page to get news articles.
Right.
Fixing old stuff doesn't. But this one was one of the most ridiculous because when people talk about the difference between YouTube and Twitch, which is a very prominent topic currently, is that people talk about Twitch having communities. So why are you removing one of the ways of sharing communities?
Exactly. Yeah. What's your favorite anime if you're such a weeb?
That's a difficult question to be honest, because my favorite anime is probably not a good choice because it did not get a continuation. It's probably better to say favorite manga just because I consider anime / manga. It's called Yona of the Dawn in English. It got 24 episodes because most shoujo don't get more than like a season. So I would probably say like actual like full anime would probably be Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood or Gurren Lagann. I've seen them both probably like 5 times.
Really? Wow. Do you watch a lot of animes or do you like rewatch the same things?
I used to watch more when I was in high school. Nowadays, I mostly just read manga. I will occasionally go out of my way to watch specific anime. Like I watched Attack on Titan.
Harmonize with me, maggots!
I don't know if I can.
I'm currently watching Spy X Family.
I don't want to go to school anymore. There's romance.
Yo, use my debit card to purchase a bulletproof backpack that stops cooties too.
I feel safer already.
So
is it good?
It is adorable. I can see why it's popular, to be honest.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Have you watched that? I haven't watched JoJo's.
I'm gonna probably upset some of your fan base, but I apologize. That series has kind of been driven home for me to a point that I actively avoid it.
You know what?
Just because one of my best friends is really into the series, and he told me that JoJo is one of those series that unfortunately people tell you either have to watch it in order or you don't. Most of the fan base says you have to, but I watched season 1. I thought it was slow, really, and most people admit season 1's not the best. But they're like, you have to watch it in order. And I'm like, well, then we'll probably never finish the series. Which is sad, because I'd watched season 6.
Oh, right.
Like, Stone Ocean looks really cool. But people are like, you can't just start at season 6. Watch me!
I hate that so much. I'm so like people that are like, you need to watch this, but you have to watch it like every episode in this particular order. And I'm like, no, listen, like if that's the only way I'm allowed to watch it, then I'm just not gonna watch it. Like I'll watch what I want to watch, and if you got a problem with that, I'm sorry, tough titties. Like get over it, cry about it, fucking take the L. When someone goes, oh, you need to watch this anime, it's so good, it's the best anime of the season, and you watch like the first episode, and you're like, it's like mid, you know, not into it, and they're like, oh, but it's just really slow. Just give it an episode, it gets into it, and so you watch another episode and you're like, this is shit, this is actually like legitimately shit, this is dog shit garbage anime, and they're like, no, give it another episode, just give it one more episode, right? You get into it, it gets really good by episode 3, and you're like,
how many episodes
do I have to dedicate my life to in order to enjoy this bullshit? Because at this point I'm hating it more and more every episode that goes on, right? What kind of games were you on when you were young? Did you ever get into like Habbo Hotel and that?
No, that was I don't actually know what that is. Somebody had to show me pictures. I thought it was the randomest looking thing ever. I got into something called Maple Story. That's like an MMO. And I played that for a good like 2-3 years. I had friends there.
Was it so or was it really degenerate?
No, actually we were so. We would do like boss runs and stuff like that. We would try and level up different characters whenever they drop new classes. We'd all try and help boost each other. Yeah. I wasn't that young, but it was like, because this was back probably just like 7-8 years ago, if that. Yeah, I was just like my mid-teens, and we were all like, oh yeah, let's go do boss runs, and I would stay up to sometimes like 4 a.m. Yeah. when you're just starting college, you're like, I got time to burn. Let's go.
Right. I was a teenager, right? My day was like, I used to go to college. I think it was 4 days a week. Used to do my 8 hours of college, come home, shower, go to work, come home from work, and then I would play on League of Legends until like 4 in the morning, sleep for 2-3 hours, get up, go to college, down some energy drinks, go through the day, rinse, repeat every day. Yeah, that was my routine. Spent all night playing League of Legends, and I was still only like bronze, silver. That was shit.
Oh, well, I mean, you still tried hard.
Yeah, I used to play on laptop though. Yeah, like fucking, what's it called, touchpad and everything. Yeah. Did you play on RuneScape? Did you ever play RuneScape, Wen?
No, I managed to avoid RuneScape for the most part.
Yeah,
I do know people that played it, but I did manage to avoid it.
I gave it an attempt a couple of years ago. I think I played like RuneScape Classic or something. I don't know, dude. I gave it an attempt. I was like, I could see myself getting into this, but back at that point, I was Club Penguin. I was all about Club Penguin back in those days.
I heard that name pretty frequently when people were talking about Habbo Hotel. Was that another one they played around those times?
Habbo Hotel was like fucking degenerate cesspit of an online game. No joke. The Habbo Hotel and Gaia Online was also the same. So you would create your character and you'd get all the cosmetics, and then people would come up to you and they would type ASL, and it would be like age, sex, location, and then they would sex with you literally in game. Even if you're like you'd have no idea what's going on. There would be people in beds, in rooms, sexting if in the public chat. Just no shame. These people were just like straight up role playing, you know. But Club Penguin was like super heavily monitored. You couldn't even swear. You couldn't even say idiot and things like that. You'd get banned. Yeah, Club Penguin was super say so. He was groomed so many times. Oh, humans. Oh, the scams. Habbo Hotel was bad. It really was. It really was. You loved League of Legends. I quit at level 5. People were insulting me when I was playing co-op against bots. Oh, sad kill. Gaia was lit, but it was a cesspit, yeah. Wait, what didn't you know about Gaia and Habbo being ultimate cesspits? Yeah, it was really bad.
But I didn't know about that stuff.
Really?
Like, I joined right around when they started doing like their own weird version of an MMO, and I played that for like 6 months.
Right.
And that's how I met some of my friends. But I didn't really go on Gaia Online for that. I basically just sold outfits and then played their version of an MMO.
Oh, see, I was extremely young when I was playing like Gaia and Habbo. I was like, you know, between the ages of like fucking 6 and 12, you know. I was a young bubba, right? And so I'm learning all these internet words like ASL and right? Do you have games like that you just refuse to play on stream?
A couple. I have a couple for different reasons. Like, I enjoy playing a lot of Apex, but I have a twofold problem with it, is that whenever I play it, I tend to forget that I have to entertain, which is problem number 1.
Yeah.
So then my chat's just like, are they talking to us? And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm on stream. Hi. And second, I tend to get very distracted. So my skill is crap for some reason on stream.
Oh yeah.
I'm great off stream, but on stream,
normal,
I'm like terrible.
I think it's a real fucking talent seeing like really skilled gamers in FPSs also still manage to read and be entertained with chat. That's like next level skills. Like, I think people really severely underestimate the skills that takes. Like, holy crap.
Okay, there's a new, and I'm kind of sad it's going, like, game mode called Gun Run.
It's going?
Which is like unfortunately, like, Respawn likes to put in limited time game modes that get really popular, and then they're just like, never mind, bye. And I'm like,
I really liked that game mode.
Yes, exactly.
When are they getting rid of it? How long is it going to stay for?
It was only there for 2 weeks. It was
It's already gone?
It leaves today. Today's the last day because it was part of an event. So we're getting something called Bright Night, I think.
It's fucking shit. I'm angry.
Played it
I
once.
was too. Yeah.
Well, if you ever
It
want to
was
play
my
CSGO,
favorite gun
they've
mode.
got that exact game mode in CSGO. So if you ever want to play that on CSGO, you let me know. We can we can play it on CSGO. Does Win play CSGO? Have you ever played CS?
I haven't, to be 100% honest, the only game of that style, I guess you could say, if you could even qualify as being that one, is Halo 4. I've never played CSGO. I've never played any of those
Valorant?
games. I've never played Call of Duty. I've never played Valorant. I've wanted to
See
get
you
into
enjoying
it.
Valorant.
Yeah, I've heard that too, because I do play Overwatch. I pretty much just currently play Overwatch. I used to play a lot of Fortnite, and mostly right now I just play Apex, and I'm excited tomorrow for Overwatch 2.
What made you want to become a VTuber?
What made me? I actually, I got a clip sent to me by a friend of mine, Tanu, back in Christmas of the year before. It was a Silver Bear clip, and I thought it was so funny. It was whenever she was saying, I guess you are my little pog champ. Does my little pog champ want to be stepped on by my big boots? And I was like, people are like, and he's like, oh, she's wildly popular. I was like, people are popular for saying that. I see that shit for free.
Yeah, right.
And she's like, yeah. And I was like, what? I was like, what is this? And he's like, yeah, it's VTubing. And I sat on it and I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then February of that year rolled around, and I was like, huh. I wonder if I could do that though. And I asked my friends, I said, do you think I could actually get by on doing that? They're like, you could find out. No harm in streaming. And I was like, true. So then one of my mods designed my Vtuber model. He said, yeah. I told him, I was like, oh, I have to figure out how to do this. And he was like, oh, I could probably figure out the program. I'll give it a whirl. So he did my first one for free as like a test meme. And I did my first stream. And, you know, I got fun out of it. I used to stream after work. I was still working like a normal job then. So I would basically stream from like 7 to 10 and then from like 1 on the weekends. And I basically just did a couple of times a week and people started showing up. Like some of my chat that's in here now showed up that day and they've been with me ever since. And my life changed in May because I lost my normal job. And I was like, oh, I could give doing this a full-time a try. And I've been full-time ever since May of last year. So it's certainly not something that I intended to go the way that it did. I was just doing it for, you know, because it was interesting and people came by and they talked and it was nice to be able to, you know, have friends. Because, you know, with the pandemic, you know, you didn't really have people. I was living by myself at the time. I had no family close by. So
I first started streaming like years ago, right? And I used to work at a cinema at the time, right? And I didn't tell anyone that I used to stream, but one day my boss was like, why aren't you available to work 3 evenings a week? And I was like, oh, because like I have other commitments. And he was like, oh, what do you do? Just out of curiosity. And I knew he was a gamer and I knew he was a massive nerd, right? He was like a huge huge Star Wars fanboy. And so I was like, oh, well, I like stream on Twitch. And he was like, oh, that's really cool. And there happened to be another like boss in the room at the time, like a line manager or something. She was like working, so I thought it was fine. And it was like, oh, well, what do you stream on Twitch? And I was like, oh, I mostly stream like Overwatch or whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then, sorry, I was playing with my candle. And then she goes, oh, like, do you like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I tell stories and jokes and I play games and I guess I make people laugh or smile if possible. And she was like, oh, like on camera? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, like porn? And I was like, no, what the fuck? She was like, you're not like a cam girl? And I was like, no, I'm not a cam girl. That's completely different. I play games. I play like video games. And she was like, right. I've not heard of that.
Oh my god.
And then it got spread around. A few weeks later, it got spread around, and all my colleagues thought I was like a cam girl. And I was like, no, very much not a cam girl. But you know, I guess I'll take that as a compliment that you think I'm a successful cam girl or something. But no, it's very much not the case. People that don't get it just don't get it. They will just not accept in their head that Twitch is a thing. I think maybe it's more mainstream now, right? Fuck yeah.
I think it is, yeah, because it's still to some people to say that you earn, you know, money from people giving it to you on the internet. That is still the implication. They're going to be like, yeah, they're like, are you sure? And then if you compare yourself to someone big, they're like, okay, but you don't do that. So what do you do? Because I told my aunt, I was like, I'm like, you know, like Ninja. She's like, no. My uncle knew who Ninja was. He's like that weird dude that wouldn't shut the fuck up. And I was like, yeah, the dude, he's like the dude that plays that what game, Fortnite, whatever it was. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you do that? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so you, why are you living with us? And I was like, no, I don't get paid that. No, I'm not that good at it, but I do the same thing on a much smaller scale. And he was like, oh, okay.
I think it got bigger with the pandemic. I think so too. I think it became more like, you know, people started turning to YouTube and stuff more, and a lot of creators like us started, you know, finding it easier to find an audience, you know. 2 hours is when anxiety and doubt starts to creep in. Oh, Shan, you just gotta keep at it, you know. Go for as long as is right for you, you know. Some people like Ollie, she streams like 4 hours and then she ends stream. Yeah. That's a good time for Ollie. You know, for me, it's more like I peak at like 6 hours. 6 hours, I'm starting to peak. You know, any more than that, it starts to creep down. You know, it's different for everyone, honestly. Find your middle ground. Find what works for you. Yeah. Tubers are the best co-op babysitters because you will give these kids new questions. We're giving those post goblins the wrong kind of education. Jesus Christ, that is horrifying. I don't think I've ever seen me be gremlin on here. Okay, you're back.
You're beautiful.
Right, bet. I'm fucking huge. Beautiful. Jesus Christ, let me fix it.
Oh, you're perfect.
Oh no. You know, I think it is just gonna be what it is. Horrifying. It's horrifying. Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's the thing I worry about whenever I end up talking, like going longer for stream, because sometimes my brain can just start blanking out.
Oh yeah.
Because like I have ADHD, so sometimes I will start a sentence and then I'm like, what was I talking about? And like And I was like, what? They're like, you were saying something. Shit, I don't know anymore, dude. I lost it. I started speaking and it was like, goodbye. Bro, that thought's gone.
Like, sometimes I watch back my own content and I'm like, I have absolute zero recollection of that happening. Absolute zero. You know, or like someone will come in and be like, haha, remember when? I'm like, no, I don't. Thank you for coming and being a wonderful guest. I really appreciate it. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
It's been nice to meet all of you.
I hope everyone's nice to you. I hope you all follow Win. You should see it at the top of your chat now if you're not following Win. You can press that little button and follow Win, or you can click the link in chat and go to Win's channel to go follow. She's streaming Dark Souls 3 on Saturday and Overwatch 2 tomorrow. So you should go check her out. You should go check her out. Variety content.
Fun to see you all. You have a good rest of your stream,
Love
Petri.
you, Win. Thank you so much for joining me.